And Ryan Reynolds, childhood teacher, reached out to me, and I wasn't going to share it, but I think I have to now because it's super interesting and compelling for those of us that are interested in the psychology of this couple.
My husband really, he's a millennial girl. He is, you don't see superhero movies, especially male superhero movies like that, but I'm his only friend. So, there's a lot of...
romance is real between the two of them.
So, yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, the undisputed king of sarcasm, has finally met his match. And no, it's not Hugh Jackman. This time, it's his own wife, Blake Lively. The same Blake who manages to juggle a Hollywood career, multiple kids, and a lifestyle empire, all while making Ryan look like a clueless dad in their ongoing Instagram roast war. But this time, she might have gone a little too far.
Okay, so it literally took me 9 hours to get through and understand the entire Justin Baldoni lawsuit. I would be lying to you guys if I didn't say reading this and going through it with a fine-tooth comb and really making a meaningful effort to just look at the facts alone didn't completely change my entire perspective on the situation. So I'm gonna do my best to go through the most important points that I found because I think I discovered some things that I have not seen anybody else talk about.
Candace Owens posted to her story saying she spoke to a source that claims Ryan Reynolds is the problem. She said the tip came from someone who allegedly worked on the set and said lately everyone is bashing Blake Lively, but apparently the true villain of the saga is Ryan.
The drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has now escalated into a full-blown legal battle, with both stars suing each other over a tangled web of claims that revolve around their collaboration on the 2024 film It Ends With Us. Lively, known for her roles in Gossip Girl and A Simple Favor, claims that Baldoni, the film's director, tried to destroy her career through a smear campaign after she brought forth allegations of sexual harassment and a hostile work environment against him. On the flip side, Baldoni says Lively went too far by exerting control over the production, threatening to withhold promotion unless her demands were met. He also argues that she falsely portrayed their professional relationship to the public, tarnishing his reputation. And while Lively is suing Baldoni for sexual harassment, retaliation, and false slight invasion of privacy, among other claims, Baldoni is countering with a defamation and civil extortion lawsuit, claiming that Lively not only made false allegations against him, but weaponized them to force him into complying with her demands.
Apparently, the internet has decided that she is the reason Ryan is cancelled, because in the great tradition of social media outrage, guilt by association is always a thing. Did Ryan actually do something wrong? No, but when has that ever stopped people from declaring a celebrity problematic?
Your wife posted something on Instagram and she wrote this. Last week I left my kids for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Look, she looks very happy.
Yeah, she did.
So were you with the 4 kids?
I was with the 4 kids.
How was that?
Single dad. I'm a Reba McEntire song. Single dad, doing it, just doing it for them, right? Took them all to the park, told them mommy left when they were young. Surprisingly, you get a lot of action that way. We had a good time. No one died, but it was nice.
That was good.
And 4 kids, it's just a zoo. You just surrender, right?
You just have to surrender.
24/7, you surrender. When we had our 4th, I was so happy because I always wanted to make sure that we always had someone on hand to give me strep throat. And now we're covered.
It's rolling sickness.
There's just never a healthy, a full clean slate health ever.
Now, is Ryan actually freaking out? Well, for a man who treats PR disasters like comedy specials, his version of panic might just be another sarcastic tweet. But one thing's for sure, this time he might not be able to joke his way out of it. Let's break it down.
Person is alleging that everything started when Ryan Reynolds decided to stroll onto the movie set one day and review the dailies. This is an industry term for all the footage that they filmed for the day. And he also decided to take a look at the script, and between the two, something allegedly set him off. This person claims that the production assistants then overheard Ryan and Blake having an argument in her trailer. Ryan Reynolds started being on the set on a regular basis as if he were her chaperone, and that is when he started inserting himself into the actual production, including writing lines. And then she says the next part was alleged in their lawsuits that Ryan and Blake, perhaps in response to her husband's anger, began inserting themselves in the effort to change lines and change scenes. And of course, the allegation that Ryan Reynolds was making fun of Justin Baldoni in his movie when he played the character Nice Pool. And we did hear this, I believe, from Justin's lawsuit, but correct me if I'm wrong, but she also says that allegedly Ryan presented an ultimatum to WME, the biggest talent agency in Hollywood, whose client roster include everyone from Taylor Swift to Justin Baldoni.
So what did Blake Lively do that supposedly got Ryan Reynolds cancelled? Well, that depends on who you ask. According to some, she made an offhand comment that didn't sit well with the internet. Others say it was an old social media post, one of those harmless things that nobody cared about at the time, but years later is suddenly the worst thing ever. And of course, there's the classic possibility. She simply existed in the wrong place at the wrong time, and the outrage factory needed a new target. Either way, social media did what social media does best, overreact. And because Ryan is married to Blake, he's automatically guilty by association. That's just how online outrage works. One half of a celebrity couple sneezes, and the other half is also responsible.
Is that Blake Lively is accusing Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment, followed by an attempted PR takedown of her to cover his own ass from people finding out what he did to her. In an article titled, "We Can Bury Anyone," Blake Lively heroically shared her story, and the world was on her side because it looked like she was just trying to take down a predator in Hollywood. So Justin Baldoni and his ace lawyer launched an all-cylinder fire attack to clear his name, and he started by suing the New York Times, saying that article was just published because it was paid for by Ryan Reynolds, and it was a multi-layered scheme planned out by Blake and Ryan to take down Justin. And I think it's pretty common knowledge that the mainstream media will lie on behalf of their powerful friends or anyone who pays them off to say certain things. But this will be tough because the New York Times has never lost a lawsuit in their life, but Justin just released some very piping hot information that seemingly proves that Blake and Ryan Reynolds were colluding with the New York Times for months.
Now, Ryan being Ryan, his first instinct was probably to make a joke about it. That's his thing. He's been roasting himself for years. His career, his movies, his life choices. The man literally turned Deadpool into a box office success by making fun of himself.
Ryan Reynolds actually has a book that is published. It's not, he didn't write the book, but essentially, and this is some Comic-Con stuff, guys, like literally, like if you're deep into Marvel Universe or DC Universe, you may know about these things. I definitely did not know about these things, but they create these books essentially about all of the movies, and they're sort of these art books. This one's called Marvel Studios, Deadpool and Wolverine, the art of the movie. Essentially what that is, it's a gallery of never before seen artwork, which is the description, and exclusive lithographs and in-depth interviews with the creative team. And so they sit down with these characters and the people that created them, and they ask them questions. And I am scared. I am so scared. So I'm gonna read you directly what Ryan had to say when they sat down with him to discuss Nice Pool. Okay, I'm gonna show you this and then I'll give you the exact quotation.
But this time, the internet wasn't laughing. Instead of rolling their eyes and moving on, people started digging. Someone brought up their 2012 wedding at a plantation, a controversy Ryan and Blake have already apologized for multiple times. Others decided to analyze every joke Ryan has ever made about Blake, as if humor is now a crime. And then came the classic outrage accusation. He's performatively woke, but still part of the problem.
This video from earlier today. Moments ago, the judge overseeing their federal case in New York, Judge Lyman, ruled on the former B-list actress's request for an additional layer of protection. The unliftable Blake was not happy with the standard protective order in the case. She wanted an attorney's eyes only designation. And the judge has granted that. Congrats to Taylor Swift. Of the judge's ruling, a spokesperson for Delulu says, quote, "Today, the court rejected the Wayfarer party's objections and entered the protections needed to ensure the free flow of discovery material without any risk of witness intimidation or harm to any individual's security. With this order in place, Ms. Lively will move forward in the discovery process to obtain even more of the evidence that will prove her claims in court."
And just like that, number Ryan Reynolds' over party was trending, because of course it was. But here's where it gets really interesting. Usually when Ryan and Blake get dragged into internet drama, they both lean into it. They make fun of themselves, they troll each other, and it all turns into a meme. That's what people expect from them. Not this time. Blake, radio silent. No playful Instagram post. No sarcastic caption. Not even a passive-aggressive meme. Just nothing. Which naturally made everything worse. Because now people had two theories. 1. Blake was actually in trouble, and Ryan was taking the fall for it. 2. Blake was letting Ryan take all the heat, while she quietly enjoyed her coffee and waited for the storm to pass.
About him being apart from Blake Lively, so much so that when they first communicated with one another, okay, so this is the first time that Ryan Reynolds and Justin Baldoni are speaking to one another, and they're exchanging text messages, and Justin Baldoni does this thing where he's just like so nice and was like, he literally, to sum it up, because I'm not going to read Justin's entire text, he basically is like, I was nervous to even text you. I'm such a fan of you. Like, you're so great. You're amazing. Your wife's amazing. And it then says this like really almost first day of middle school kind of thing. This is exactly what I want, a puppy to kick in the mouth. And you'll do what I say. So I'm going to show you these exchanges. This is Ryan Reynolds, Justin Baldoni. If you guys have not read through them, I recommend that you go on to the site to read it. He even extends like saying how wonderful Blake was because, you know, she was very nice to his wife. Says that Blake sent the sweetest message to his wife. I mean, he's being so respectful, falling over himself to be respectful and to say like, hey, can we still be friends? And Ryan Reynolds then sends this text message. And he basically says like, sorry for the delay, I've been writing, the girls are sick again, whatever. It tells him essentially that he hit the jackpot with Blake Lively. She literally passes on every film and every filmmaker all the time. But the one thing I know, and I speak from a deep wellspring of experience here, having her in your court.
Either way, Ryan was stuck. If he defended Blake, people would accuse him of mansplaining and excusing problematic behavior. If he stayed silent, they'd say he was being a coward. And if he joked about it, well, he already tried that, and Twitter practically set itself on fire. So what does Ryan do? Exactly what he always does. He distracts the internet. Maybe he announced a new movie. Maybe he posted a ridiculous ad for aviation gin. Maybe he dropped some conveniently timed Deadpool-related news. Whatever it was, it worked.
Just throwing down some alpha male, and by alpha male, I mean extremely beta male. I have rich and powerful friends at the top. That's not a confirmation, but I'm looking at the length of the strip, and it's given Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift would say the same. My wife is wonderful, okay? Anyways, jumping back into these messages, he then moves immediately to ask Justin Baldoni to change their production dates because he's never been apart from Blake Lively so long. He basically says he tried to do it on his end. I'm paraphrasing here. You can go read it on the website. You know, I was frantically trying to address this. I was frantically trying to change this, shorten the shoot, but I can't because, you know, Deadpool and Wolverine is set in stone. They already booked the studio. And he ends it with this, which is funny that we're talking about like a sexual lawsuit and what's appropriate. He ends it by saying, all this to say, I'd have your line producer's face tattooed to my perineum. Okay, so that is the skin between Ryan's parts. I don't even know how to appropriately state that other than perineum. Okay, he pull that back up again. I would have your line producer's face tattooed to my perineum if he, she, or they can figure out how to start 2 weeks earlier. Completely understand how big of an ask that is, but the perineum is one of the most nervy parts of the human body to expose to trauma.
Because let's be honest, was Ryan Reynolds ever actually cancelled? Of course not. Because here's the thing about Ryan, he's too likable to be cancelled. People wanted to be mad at him, but deep down, they also didn't want to lose their favourite funny guy. The internet tried to get rid of him, but then they remembered, oh wait, who's going to give us sarcastic commentary on superhero movies if he's gone? So, while Twitter was busy cancelling him, the rest of the internet was making memes about how Ryan Reynolds is too charming to be cancelled. And just like that, the outrage cycle moved on.
Okay, so I've never been more scared in my entire life that my account could actually get deleted. So if you're watching this right now and my account mysteriously disappears, I need you guys to know it was Ryan Reynolds. I know their team is watching this video right now, and if you guys do something as idiotic and drastic as taking down my account, number one, everybody will know it was you. Number 2, I will go scorched earth right to YouTube. And number 3, that would be a very bad decision because if information does come out that is favorable to Blake Lively, I will be the first one to cover it honestly and fairly.
Yesterday, it was Ryan Reynolds is cancelled. Today, people are arguing about whatever the next celebrity drama is. The internet has the attention span of a goldfish, and Ryan knows it. So, did Blake really get Ryan cancelled? Not even close. He got a temporary slap on the wrist from Twitter, but let's be honest, he'll joke about this in his next interview, and people will eat it up. That's the thing about being Ryan Reynolds. You can get cancelled today and be Hollywood's golden boy again tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, people don't actually want to see him go. They just want a little drama, a little chaos, and maybe, just maybe, a sarcastic comment from the man himself.